59. The Exodus. Enter an attendant from the palace. O you most honorable lords of the city of Thebes, weep for the things you shall hear, the things you must see, if you are true sons and loyal to the house of Lapticus. Not all the waters of Ister, the waters of Phasis, can wash this dwelling clean of the foulness within, clean of the deliberate acts that soon shall be known, of all horrible acts, most horrible, willfully chosen. Already we have wept enough for the things we have known, the things we have seen. What more will your story add? First and in brief, Her Majesty is dead. Alas, poor soul, what brought her to this end? Her own hand did it. You that have not seen and shall not see, this worst shall suffer the less. But I that saw will remember, and will tell what I remember of her last agony. You saw her cross the threshold. In desperate passion, straight to her bridal bed she hurried, fastening her fingers in her hair. There, in her chamber, the doors flung sharply to, she cried aloud to lie long since dead, remembering the son she bore long since, the son by whom the sire was slain, the son to whom the mother bore yet other children, fruit of luckless misbegetting. There she bewailed the twice confounded issue of her wifehood, husband begotten of husband, child of child. So much we heard. Her death was hidden from us. Before we could see out her tragedy, the king broke in with piercing cries, and all had eyes only for him. This way and that he strode among us. A sword, he cried. Where is that wife? No wife of mine, that soil where I was sown and whence I reaped my harvest. While thus he raved, some demon guided him, for none of us dared speak, to where she was, as if in answer to some leader's call. With wild, hallooing cries, he hurled himself upon the locked doors, bending by main force the bolts out of their sockets, and stumbled in. We saw a knotted pendulum, a noose, a strangled woman swinging before our eyes. The king saw too, and with heart-rending groans untied the rope and laid her on the ground. But worse was yet to see. Her dress was pinned with golden brooches, which the king snatched out and thrust from full arm's length into his eyes that should no longer see his shame, his guilt, no longer see those they should never have seen, nor see unseeing those he had longed to see, henceforth seeing nothing but night. To this wild tune he pierced his eyeballs time and time again, till bloody tears ran down his beard, not drops, but in full spate, a whole cascade descending in drenching cataracts of scarlet rain. Thus two have sinned, and on two heads, not one, on man and wife, falls mingled punishment. Their old long happiness of former times was happiness earned with justice. But today, calamity, death, ruin, tears and shame, all ills that there are names for, all are here. And he, how is he now? Does he still suffer? He shouts for someone to unbar the doors and show all Thebes, the father's murderer, the mother's, shame forbids the unholy word. Incontinently he will fly the country to rid his house of the curse of his own lips, but scarcely has the strength, poor sufferer, and none to guide him. He cannot bear the pain, as you shall see. The doors are opening. Yes, you shall see a sorry spectacle that loathing cannot choose, but pity. Ah, horror beyond all bearing, foulest disfigurement that ever I saw, oh cruel, insensate agony! What demon of destiny with swift assault outstriding has ridden you down? O tortured head, I dare not see, I am hiding my eyes. I cannot bear what most I long to see and what I long to hear. that most I dread. Oh, agony! Where am I? Is this my voice that is born on the air? What fate has come to me? Unspeakable to mortal ear, too terrible for eyes to see. Oh, dark, tolerable, inescapable night that has no day. Cloud that no air can take away. Oh, and again that piercing pain. Torture in the flesh and in the soul's dark memory. It must be so. Such suffering must needs be borne twice. Once in the body and once in the soul. Is that my true and ever faithful friend still at my side? Your hand shall be the blind man's guide. Are you still near? That voice I hear is yours, although your face I cannot see. Those eyes! How could you do what you have done? What evil power has driven you to this end? Apollo, my friends. Apollo has laid this agony upon me, not by his hand. I did it. What should I do with eyes where all is ugliness? It cannot be denied. Where is there any beauty for me to see? Where loveliness of sight or sound? Away! Lead me quickly away out of this land. I am lost, hated of gods. No man so damned. Twice tormented, in the spirit as in the flesh. Would you had never lived to read this riddle? Cursed be the benefactor that loosed my feet and gave me life for death. A poor exchange. Death would have been a boon to me and all of mine. We could have wished it so. Now, shedder of father's blood, husband of mother is my name. Godless and child of shame, begetter of brothers' sons. What infamy remains that is not spoken of Oedipus? Yet, to my thinking, this act was ill-advised. It would have been better to die than live in blindness. I will not believe that this was not the best that could have been done. Teach me no other lesson. How could I meet my father beyond the grave with seeing eyes, or my unhappy mother against whom I have committed such heinous sin as no mere death could pay for? Could I still love to look at my children, begotten as they were begotten? Could I want eyes to see that pretty sight, to see the towers of Thebes, nor her holy images, which I, her noblest, most unhappy son, have forbidden myself to see, having commanded all men to cast away the offense, the unclean, whom the gods have declared accursed, the son of Laius, and, having proved myself that branded man, could I want sight to face this people's stare? No. Hearing neither, had I any way to damn that channel too, I would not rest till I had prisoned this body of mine. In shame, in total blankness, for the mind to dwell beyond the reach of pain, were peace indeed. Citharon, foster mother, did you shelter me for this? Could you not let me die that instant instead of saving me to tell the world how I was got? Corinth and Polybus, my seeming home and parent, did you think what foul corruption festered under the bloom of your adopted son's young loveliness, now found all evil and of evil born? That silent crossroad in the forest clearing. Oh, that copse beside the place where three roads met, whose soil I watered with my father's blood, my blood. Will they remember what they saw, and what I came that way to Thebes to do? Incestuous sin breeding where I was bred, father, brother, and son, bride, wife, and mother confounded in one monstrous matrimony? All human filthiness in one crime compounded. Unspeakable acts. I speak no more of them. Hide me at once, for God's love. Hide me away, away, kill me. Drown me in the depths of the sea. Take me. For pity, touch me and take me away. Touch me and have no fear. On no man else, but on me alone is the scourge of my punishment. Creon comes. On him will now depend, in act and counsel, the answer to your desires. He stands our sole protector in your stead. What can I say to him? What plea of mine can now have any justice in his eyes, whom I, as now is seen, have wronged so utterly? Oedipus, I am not here to scoff at your fall, nor yet to reproach you for your past misdeeds. My friends, remember your respect for the Lord of life, the sun above us, if not for the children of men. The unclean must not remain in the eye of day, nor earth, nor air, nor water may receive it. Take him within. Piety at least demands that none but kinsmen should hear and see such suffering. I only ask one thing, my gentle friend, whose gentleness to such a one as I am was more than could be hoped for. What one thing only? For God's love, for your good, not mine. What thing? So humbly begged. Cast me away this instant, out of this land, out of the sight of man. Be sure it would have been done without delay, but that I await instruction from the god. Is not his instruction already plain? The parricide, the unclean one, was to die, and here he stands. It was so, yet in the present turn of events, we need more certain guidance. For my lost life? Will you ask the god's direction for one so damned? Have you not found good cause to trust him? Yes. Then I have only this to ask of your goodness. The funeral rites of her that lies within, provide as you think fit. She is your sister, and you will do rightly by her. As for me, no longer let my living presence curse this fatherland of mine. Let me go and live upon the mountains and die there. Citharon, name forever linked with mine. On Mount Citharon, which my parents chose to be my deathbed, I will go and die, obedient to their desires, and yet I know not age nor sickness nor any common accident can end my life. I was not snatched from death that once, unless to be preserved for some more awful destiny. Be it so. And the children, don't trouble yourself about the boys, Creon. They will be able to fend for themselves wherever they go. But the girls, poor little mites, have never known a meal without their father. Everything was shared between us. Take care of them, Creon. Creon, if I could touch them once and weep once more, if you would permit it, gracious and generous, just touch them once, and I could think I had them once more before my eyes. The children, Ismene and Antigone, have already been let in and stand before Oedipus. What? Do I hear my darlings sobbing? Has Creon had pity and sent them to me? My darlings, are they here? They are here. I had them brought to you. I knew how much you loved them, how you love them still. Heaven bless you, Creon, for this, and make your way smoother than mine has been. Where are you, children? Come. Feel your brother's hands. It was their work that darkened these clear eyes, your father's eyes as once you knew them, though he never saw nor knew what he did when he became your father. They cannot see you, but they weep with you. I think of your sorrowful life in the days to come when you must face the world, the holy days, high days and states, days of state, joyless for you, returning sadly home while others play. And when you look for marriage, will there be men, will there be one man brave enough to outface the scandal that will cling to all my children and children's children? Is there a name of ill that is not ours? Father that killed his father, despoiled his birthbed, begetting where he was begot, thus they will brand you. Where will you then find husbands? There will be none, my children, for you. Your days can only end in fruitless maidenhood. Menecus' son, you are their kinsman still. You are their only father. We are no more who gave them life. These lost waifs must not wander homeless and husbandless. They must not see such days as I shall see. Take care of them. So young, so poor, so lost to all but you. You will do it? Your hand to pledge your promise? Friend! Children, there is much that you will understand when you are older. You cannot bear it now. and in your prayers ask this, that you may live not more nor less than well, and so live better than did your father. This is enough. Will you go in? I must, against my will. There is a measure in all things. I have your promise, then? What promise? To send me away. God will decide, not I. No God will speak for me. Then you will have your wish. And your consent? I do not speak beyond my knowledge. Take me. Go then. But leave the children. No, never take them from me. Command no more. Obey. Your rule is ended. And Oedipus is led away. And we get the final choral ode. Sons and daughters of Thebes, behold, this was Oedipus, greatest of men. He held the key to the deepest mysteries, was envied by all his fellow men for his great prosperity. Behold what a full tide of misfortune swept over his head. Then learn that mortal man must always look to his ending, and none can be called happy until that day when he carries his happiness down to the grave in peace. Excellent, and the play's over. So I hope you enjoyed it. That was the spoken performance. That's the last of them, and feel free, if you haven't already, to check out the mini lectures that expound on all the literary goodness that's wrapped up. I mean, there's an awful lot that you can really see in this play once you light up the darkness, as it were. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see what's coming next.